and the numbers we see here on the number line are called integers. On the right side of 0, we have positive integers, and on its left, we have negative integers. Integers we are familiar with, but what about numbers like these? 1 by 3, 5 by 6, or -7 by 12. Each of these are numbers, but we don't use them as often as we use counting numbers. Such numbers are called rational numbers. But we need to define them well. We cannot say numbers like these are rational numbers. We say that they are of the form p by q. One number in the numerator and one in the denominator. But there are a few conditions we need to know. P and q should be integers. We can have only integers in place of p and q. And there is another important condition. Q should not be equal to 0. Why do we have the second condition? Say I ask you to calculate 3 divided by 0. What would be the quotient? 0 multiplied by what will give you 3? There is no such number. This value is undefined. So this is the basic definition of rational numbers. It is a number of the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. There are many questions that should pop up in your head when you see this definition. What is the difference between rational numbers and fractions? Are integers classified as rational numbers? What about 0? How do we plot such numbers on a number line? And how do we compare two rational numbers? For example, if you're asked to compare 1 and 5, you could easily say that 5 is greater of the 2. But what if you're asked to compare numbers like 6 by 7 and 13 by 15? How would you find out which one is greater? Don't worry. One of the categories of plotting the rational numbers on the number line is when the numerators are less than the denominators. Let's try to plot 1 by 2 and -1 by 2 on the number line. First, we see how we can plot 1 by 2. The numerator 1 is less than the denominator 2. When the numerator is less than the denominator, the positive rational number will be between 0 and 1. So we draw the number line like this. The number 1 by 2 has to lie somewhere between 0 and 1. Now we divide the length between 0 and 1 into equal parts. How many equal parts is the question? The denominator tells us the number of equal parts. The denominator is 2, so we divide it into 2 equal parts. This line divides this region into 2 equal parts. But what does the numerator tell us? It tells us the number of parts starting from 0. The numerator is 1, and therefore we take one part from 0 and mark 1 by 2 here. We can use the same procedure to mark -1 by 2 on the left side of 0. Divide it into 2 parts and mark -1 by 2 one part away from 0. Just as integers had corresponding values, rational numbers too have corresponding values. In our example, -1 by 2 corresponds to 1 by 2. Let us look at another example where the numerator is less than the denominator. We have to plot 3 by 4 and -3 by 4. Let us plot 3 by 4 first. Since the numerator is less than the denominator, we know that the number will be between 0 and 1. So we draw the number line like this, with just 0 and 1 plotted. Remember, the denominator tells us the number of equal parts. Since the denominator is 4, we divide the length between 0 and 1 into 4 equal parts. Drawing these 3 lines gives us 4 equal parts. Now we move to the numerator. The numerator tells us the number of parts from the number 0. Since the numerator is 3, we move 3 equal parts from 0. 1, 2 and 3. So we mark 3 by 4 here. Now let us plot -3 by 4. Since 3 is less than 4 and the rational number is negative, we know that it will come between 0 and -1. We divide this length into 4 equal parts as the denominator is 4. And we mark -3 by 4 3 parts away from 0. That's it. We have plotted the points. But let me ask you a question. You have plotted the numbers 3 by 4 and minus 3 by 4. But do you know which numbers are plotted on these points? Here's your answer. Since this is one part, we mark 1 by 4 here. Since these are two parts, we mark 2 by 4 here. Similarly, we can plot minus 1 by 4 and minus 2 by 4 here. This was just for your understanding, and you don't need to mark all the points if you're asked to mark just 3 by 4 and minus 3 by 4. In the next video, we will look at an example in which the numerator is greater than the denominator. In this video, we will try to plot rational numbers whose numerators are greater than their denominators. Let us plot 7 by 4 and minus 7 by 4. We try to plot 7 by 4 first. The first step in such kind of problems where the numerator is greater than the denominator is to convert it into a mixed fraction form. You would have learned this in your earlier classes, but let me quickly show you how. We only have to divide 7 by 4. We get the quotient as 1 and the remainder as 3. So we write the mixed fraction as quotient, remainder by divisor. This is the whole part and this is the fractional part. So we can write 7 by 4 as 1, 3 by 4. 1 is called the whole number part and 3 by 4 is called the proper fraction part. Each of the three numbers, 1, 3 and 4, tell us something about where 7 by 4 is plotted on the number line. The whole number part tells us the position of 7 by 4. So 1 tells us that the rational number 7 by 4 is between itself and the next whole number. The next whole number is 2. So we know that 7 by 4 is between 1 and 2. So we draw the number line accordingly with just 0, 1 and 2 marked. The denominator of the proper fraction part tells us the number of equal parts this segment is divided into. Since it is 4, we divide this segment into 4 parts. This segment between 1 and 2 is divided into 4 equal parts. The numerator of the proper fraction tells us the number of parts from the first whole number. So it is 3 parts away from 1. So we mark 7 by 4 here. What about minus 7 by 4? We can write minus 7 by 4 as minus 1, 3 by 4. Now the number minus 1 tells us that minus 7 by 4 is between itself and the next number. Make note of the fact that the next number will be on the left hand side since minus 7 by 4 is a negative rational number. So the next number is minus 2. Now we can say that minus 7 by 4 is between minus 1 and minus 2. The denominator tells us the number of equal parts this length is divided into. So we divide it into 4 equal parts by marking 3 lines. The number 3 tells us the number of parts from the number minus 1. So leaving 3 parts from minus 1, we mark minus 7 by 4 here. With that, we are done with the topic of plotting positive and negative rational numbers. Please practice this concept thoroughly and make note of the summary which appears at the end of this video. Rational number. It's simple. All we have to do is ignore the sign of the number. Let's make 2 columns of the number and its absolute value. Let's consider the rational number 5. Remember, integers are rational numbers too. The absolute value of 5 is denoted like this. The number is written between 2 vertical lines. This number has no sign, so we just write it as 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5. What about minus 5? Its absolute value is written like this. This number has a sign. We just ignore the sign and write it as 5. The absolute value of minus 5 is 5. What is the absolute value of minus 6 by 11? It's written like this between 2 vertical lines. And what will it be equal to? Yes, we just ignore the sign and write it as 6 by 11. And what will be the absolute value of minus 6 by minus 11? Simple, we just ignore the signs. The absolute value of minus 6 by minus 11 is equal to 6 by 11. Many students think absolute value is changing the sign. But that's incorrect. We're just ignoring the sign. There is another way in which you can look at the absolute value. The absolute value will be the numerical value of the number without its sign. And observe the answers of the absolute value. They're always positive. So is this always true? What's the absolute value of 0? Well, it's 0 and it's not positive. I think we need to modify what we said earlier. We should correctly say that the absolute value of non-zero numbers is always positive.